Okay, so here in this third session, we are working at a percentage of our 1RM for back squat and military press today. We're going to start with back squat right after the warm-up. The warm-up is going to scale up the weight so that it prepares you for your first round of working at the percentage of 1RM that you're going to be working at today. Because we're working three different movements here with our back squat, our military press, and our lat pull downs, you're going to have a supplemental exercise for each one of those movements as well. So after I do the back squat, which you're going to do it in the exact same way that you did it in the 1RM, but you're going to do it for 5 reps. After that, you're going to do 5 heavy rows with a dumbbell. And so the way that we're going to set that up, you're going to have a bench here to stabilize your upper body. So you're going to support yourself on one hand. You're going to have this tripod stance here, so you can offset your feet or have them squared up. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to take my weight right here. Notice how I have my shoulder blade, my scapula protracted. I'm going to bring that back, and I'm going to have a nice flat back. So I'm not rounded here, nice flat back. I'm going to row the weight up at an angle away from my chest, my elbow is away from my chest, really in the exact same way that a bench is going to come away from your chest as you descend into the bench movement, okay? You're gonna knock out those reps for each side. Then we're gonna move in, after you get done with those sets, you're gonna move into military press, working the military press the exact same way that you 1RM'd it at 70% of your 1RM today. And then we're gonna do what we call a poor man's leg curl. Poor man's leg curl is going to work the hamstring. The way that I want you guys to set up for the poor man's leg curl is to prop your heels on top of the bench, not on the front of the bench, but on top of the bench. Scoot your chest toward or away from the bench so that you can achieve 90 at the knee and 90 at the hips. The working leg, in this case I'm going to use my right leg, is going to stay on top of the bench. My resting leg is going to be flagged straight up. I'm going to stick my heel towards the ceiling. To initiate the movement, I'm going to drive my working heel into the bench. That's going to turn on my hamstring, and I'm going to keep driving into the bench, allowing my heel to rise towards the ceiling. What's important here is that as I go through this range of motion, I'm extending my hips all the way, and I'm not using this flagged leg to generate momentum. We don't want to do this because now we're just cheating the work that we should be doing with our hamstring. We want to isolate that hamstring and allow it to do as much work as possible. Now, if you want for stability to put your hands here, that's fine, but it's better to have them here or here so that you're not tempted to press into the ground with your hands and help rise your hips. Now, you're going to do this on each side for the same reps. Finally, on our lat pull down, we're going to have you do either dips or overhead tricep extension. If you happen to have a dip station, either at your home gym or at the Globo gym that you're training at, I want you to do a dip just like this. You're going to come down just below parallel and then right back up, nice and controlled. I cross my feet behind me just for a little bit of stability. What I don't want to see is this action right here, where I'm cutting my range of motion short, all the way down and then all the way back up. One cue that we used to use is to put your chin on the bar. It's not required. If you know where your shoulder is relative to your elbow, just go down below parallel. If you don't have a dip station, all you need to do is grab a dumbbell. We're going to do overhead tricep extensions. I'm going to take a diamond grip on the dumbbell. I'm going to go behind my head, preferably all the way down so that that bell falls between my shoulder blades, and then I'm going to lift it straight up overhead, extending my elbows all the way at the top.